Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. For those new here, my name is Nicki. I'm an author and editor and I post videos here on YouTube about writing, editing, reading and all the other things I love. Today we are here for a booktube tag. It's the TMI tag. It's quite a long one. There are 50 questions, so I'm going to do them really as quick fire, just zoom right through them. I'm going to pop them all down there below for you along with a link to the creator of the tag. But for now I'm just going to zoom straight off with the first one. Number one, which fictional character has the best style? Well, surely it's going to be Gatsby. Number two, your book, boyfriend / girlfriend fictional crush. I'm sorry, but I haven't got time in this tag to list them all. Number three, ever loved a character then started hating them? I think a little bit Suki in the Suki Stackhouse Southern Vampire Mysteries series by Shannon Harris. I really liked her at the start, but I did start to get a bit annoyed with her as the books progressed. Number four, the biggest or longest book on your shelf. I mean, I've got big ones like Ulysses, War and Peace. I've got the complete memoirs of Casanova that go over 12 volumes, so if you're counting that all as one book, that's pretty long. And obviously some others, Christian Lavranstatter, there's quite a few. Number five, the heaviest book on your shelf. In terms of single books, I'm guessing this would probably be one of my foreign language dictionaries actually. Number six, do you have any book posters? No, not really. Number seven, do you have any book themed jewellery? This is going to be a really embarrassing admission, but I actually have a couple of Twilight related pieces, but those are the only... Oh no, I lie, I have one other one. Which is the Arwen Evenstar pendant, although that's really related to the film rather than the book. Number eight, your book OTP. Again, there are so many. I mean, I love Jane and Rochester if we're going for a classic with Jane Eyre. I love Matthew and Diana in the All Souls trilogy if we're going with something paranormal. So many. Number nine, I lie. Favourite book series. In terms of series, there's quite a few I like, but one of the ones I've stuck with the longest because it's been going for years and years is the Saint-Germain series, historical vampire novels by Chelsea Kuhn Yarbrough, which I always buy the new one whenever they come out. Number 10, favourite book to movie soundtrack. Probably Interview the Vampire. I really enjoyed the soundtrack from that film. Number 11, a book story you wish would continue. The Vampire Empire series by Clay and Susan Griffith. We've had 4 books so far and I think they are intending to write more, but they've paused to do some other projects, so I do hope they come back to it eventually. Number 12, your favourite standalone. There's so many, but the one that always comes to mind is Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. It's one of my favourite classics. Number 13, since when do you read books? Pretty much as soon as I could read. I've always loved books since I was a child. First my mother read them to me, and then as soon as I was able to, I was reading them for myself. Number 14, which Hogwarts house are you in? Now, I've never done anything official to tell me this, but based on my personality, I'll probably end up in Ravenclaw, I think. Number 15, quality you look for in a book. A compelling story and compelling characters. I don't mind what the story is, I don't mind genre, I read quite widely, but I need to be sucked into that story, the world, the characters and what's going on. Number 16, favourite book quote. The first one that comes to mind is Last Night I Dreamt I Went to Mandalay Again, the opening from Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. That's just one of those lines that sticks in your mind forever. Number 17, favourite author. Oh, I really can't pick. Come on people, there are so many and so many genres. Number 18, favourite book cover. I do love the hand illustrated designs for the Vampire Empire series. I also like some of the ones that look a bit like The Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare. They're really beautiful. 19, action or romance. I'd probably pick action. I like a bit of both and I like stories that combine the two, but if you had to make me pick, I'd prefer an action-packed story to just a boring romance. 20, where do you go when a sad moment happens? I don't particularly go anywhere. Just deal with it, get the tissue out. Number 21, how long do you need to finish a book? It depends on the book, people. Obviously a novella I can read in 1 or 2 nights. I'm reading The Bonfire of Vanities by Tom Wolfe at the moment, which is probably going to take me maybe 10 days. It's 700 pages. Next up, number 22, how long is your mourning period? Again, I don't really do this. I'm not someone who has like a downtime after a book. As soon as I finish one, I start the next one, regardless of how I felt about the previous one. 22, least favourite book, Tristram Shandy by Lawrence Stern. It took me 3 goes to get through it, and it was a slog. Number 22, your turn on in a character. I like characters who are flawed but still likeable, that you still really care about them despite their bad points. Turn off on a character, if someone's too perfect, I think it's a turn off for me, because they're never believable. 26, reason I joined Booktube. Just because who doesn't love talking about books, and it's a great community here and a chance to get some recommendations. Number 27, name a scary book. It by Stephen King. Number 28, the last book that made you cry. I honestly can't remember. I do cry at books if there's something sad in it. I think it might have been Black Beauty. I did a reread of Black Beauty by Anna Sewell the other month, and I think I did cry a bit in that. There you go. Last book you gave 5 stars to. At the time of filming this, it was The Loved One by Evelyn Waugh. Any favourite book titles? I love the title The Private Memoirs and Confessions of a Justified Sinner by James Hogg. It is a fun book too, but it's just a fantastic, gripping title, isn't it? It makes you wonder what it's going to be about. The last book you read at the time of filming this was The Spirit of Science Fiction by Roberta Bellana, which I finished last night. Last book adaptation you watched. The last one I watched was the film version of the novel Kiss of the Spider Woman by Manuel Puig. Book you're currently reading is The Bonfire of Vanities by Tom Wolfe at the time I'm filming this. A book character you always wanted to talk to is question 34, and that would be Elizabeth Bennet from Pride and Prejudice. I think she and I would get on well. Number 35, an author you've always wanted to talk to, probably Chelsea Quinn Yarborough, who writes the Saint-Germain vampire series I mentioned earlier. I'd love to talk to her about how she goes about researching the history side of her novels. 36, favourite book snack. I don't snack a lot while I'm reading because I tend to read in bed just before I go to sleep, so I don't have food with me there. But if I do a little bit of afternoon reading, it's quite nice to have a little muesli bar or something to nibble on if I'm hungry. Number 37, a book world you'd like to live in. I always quite fancied Rohan in Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. I like that kind of Anglo-Saxon horse warrior culture. 38, a book world you don't want to live in. Probably The Hunger Games. I don't think I'd do very well in a sort of life or death, fight to the death kind of scenario, you know. I'm not sure I have the survival skills for that world. 39, last time you smelled a book. I don't know, I do it sometimes, particularly if it's an older book. I've got second-hand, like a really old one from a used bookstore, but I can't recall the last time I did it. 40, weird insults used in books. I think some good ones come from works by people like Douglas Adams, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where they have all those made-up words and insults going on. 41, favourite romance book. Well, this is a hard one really. I guess there's classics Jane Eyre. For modern LGBT fiction, maybe Call Me By Your Name by Andre Asselin. But then, again, there's loads, it's such a wide category. 42, do you write? Yes, I do. Anyone who wants to see more about my writing, follow the link to my blog below. 43, favourite magical item. If I could have a magical item, I think I'd like the Time Turner from Harry Potter. It'd be really handy to be able to go back, get myself a few extra hours, follow my interests, see something I've missed. Number 44, your Quidditch position. Trust me that playing sports and me does not go, so I would probably be in the stands supporting for that one. 45, name a song you connect to a book. Probably Sympathy for the Devil with Interview with the Vampire, and I try to connect that to the book now simply because it was used in the film, so it's just one of those roundabout ones, but yes. 46, favourite book related chat up line. I honestly, as I read these questions, couldn't think of any, I'm sorry. 47, have you ever used it? No, because I don't know any, I'm afraid. 48, favourite book fandom. Again, there are so many. I mean, there are series I love, however, I don't think I particularly get heavily involved in any book fandoms, to be honest. I can't really think of any. I get more involved in TV and film fandoms than book ones, even though there's series and things that I follow in books. 49. How many books do you own? Well, as at the time of filming this, I think it's around 1,300. But it does vary. Like sometimes I swap a few out, get some new ones, find some I can pass on, but around the 1,300 mark is where I'm currently sitting. And finally, who do you tag? Just anyone who wants to do this. As I said, the questions and all the information are below for you. So that's been a bit of a long one, so I'm going to hurry up and close, but I'll be back again very soon with another vlog for you all. Bye for now, everyone.